Good morning, guys. Listen, welcome to the new week. Thank you for tuning into my show. I'm going to tell you what, this is Monday, September 24th, 2018, and let's get the show started. Let's open up the charts right here. Okay, the first thing we want to look at is Bitstamp. The price of Bitcoin all weekend is running around running around $6,700 more or less, and we've seen a little bit of a drop off this morning in the price. It's no big deal. We've been in this territory before. We're just revisiting it. The Bitcoin price seems to have a very stable floor under it right now. If we go to the 12-hour, we'll take a look. We can see this very stable floor is right about there. I would say right around 6,000, 5,900, right around there. That's a floor underneath the price. I'll tell you, it's going to be hard-pressed for Bitcoin to actually break through that and go lower than that price. And so we've weathered an awful lot of this bear market so far. And the bear market is at a certain point going to come to a close. In other words, the doors are open right now. The doors are going to close. And when those doors close, we're going to see these prices shoot up. Now, the big question mark is, when are the doors going to close? And so you've got a chance to get in there and get some coinage and get it put away for a rainy day for later, because this is probably, next to gold and silver, is probably one of your best investments you can probably get, is the cryptocurrencies. And that's in my estimation only. I mean, this is not financial advice. Don't go out there and sell your house and go out and try to buy cryptocurrencies. Although there has been some people in the past who've sold their house and bought Bitcoin at like $200 a coin, and I mean, a while ago. It's happened. They have done that, right? And now they're sitting pretty, Of course, I'm not recommending that you do that, but I'm going to tell you, for some people, maybe it's tempting to do something like that. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking, what's going on through their head. Anyway, listen, over at my other channel, we've got things going on with China, and there's trade tariffs going in right now, and these retailers don't like it. It's putting the pinch on the retailers. And, they're crying right now like a bunch of babies. But I'm going to tell you what. This is, in my estimation, this is about time. All the way through the Obama administration, 2 terms of the Obama administration, all the way through the Bush administration, China was taking advantage of us. And what they were doing is they were growing, and we were actually, the energy was coming out. Factories were leaving America. America was becoming complacent. And the Chinese are not our friends. I'll tell you right up front, they're not our friends. Now, the people in China, the people that make up in the rural areas and stuff, they're nice people and stuff, They're the salt of the earth. But China had a plan. And the plan was to destroy America. And nobody was doing anything about it. They were letting them get away with it. And China was going to use gold as the core part of their plan. I'm going to tell you, it's a very devious plan they had. They've drained all the gold out of the West. They've got it all right now. I believe that it's very possible that the cryptocurrencies are the West's response to China's devious plan to wreck us. And right now, here we go. We got this trade war going on, and this trade war is going to help foil the Chinese's plan to wreck us. They quite literally wanted to take us down the drain spout and make us into a slave, a third world state, a banana republic, and they would be in control of the whole world. They wanted what they call their manifest destiny of China. The manifest destiny of China is to control the entire world, a Red Sea over everything. And we would be debt slaves to the Chinese people. This was the plan. And they got about 80% of the way to pulling the trigger on us. And now what's happening is Trump is turning the tables on them. And sure, it's causing a little bit of pain to some of these retailers. Look what it says here. It says Target is among the hundreds of retailers and companies pushing back against the new tariffs. You know? Yeah, they don't like it. They're feeling the sting. These retailers are feeling the sting. But what a bunch of big babies. You know? Why don't they just get over it and realize that this is being done for their own good? Do they want to become debt slaves? Just because Target wants to have, say an extra 10% this year of extra profits, and they're not getting it. They're not getting it because of these tariffs. In fact, they might even go into the red a little bit this year. You know, they're willing to give all that up to let us become debt slaves to the Chinese, just so that they can make an extra 10% profit this year. You know, we got to turn this tide on the Chinese. The Chinese have got all the gold. They've got all the silver. We got to turn the tide on them. You know, otherwise we will end up being debt slaves to the Chinese, and the Chinese will end up sitting there being pretty. This whole thing is turning on them. Now, inflation. This is going to help inflation to increase a little bit, these tariffs, because costs of goods are going to go up. But what is that going to do for the American workers? I mean, let's just use, I like to use shoes as an example. Used to go out and buy these $20 Chinese shoes. Of course, they only lasted a month. The soles would fall off of the things. The seams would come apart on them. I don't know. They made the shoe almost like something out of some Inspector Gadget that would self-destruct, a self-destructing shoe, you know, but it was cheap. So you needed shoes today, you go in and buy your Chinese shoes for $20. Now those Chinese shoes are going to cost you $40. What does that do? Well, it makes it more competitive so that the American shoe can compete, the American shoe manufacturer. What you're going to see is these, say it's shoes, for instance, right? You're going to see companies that were going out of business before, now they're going to have to hire new people, because now they're going to need to make American shoes, because American shoes are now competitive in the marketplace with the Chinese shoes that have just went up in price. The Chinese had the edge on us in everything that they were selling us, but they were selling us shoddy goods all the way across the board. I mean, you go out and buy a Chinese hammer, the first nail you go to hit with it, either the handle would crack or the head would fly off the stupid hammer. You know? And so you got it cheap. An American hammer was a bit more expensive. The Chinese hammer was $1.49 or whatever at dollar store or whatever. You know, and the head flies off it. The American hammer was like $16.99. But if you had bought the American hammer, you would have been able to build 10 houses with the thing. The handle would never break, and the head would never fly off. American stuff is built good. It's always been built good. The Chinese, they were so much into cutting corners and stuff that they quite literally took a whole bunch of melamine, which is something that's supposed to be used as an industrial product to make countertops and stuff like that, and they ground it up and put it into baby formula, for crying out loud. And they put it into cat and dog food. And it come over here and a whole bunch of cats, dogs, and stuff. And we love our pets. You know? People forget that they did that. I don't forget about it. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit here. Suffice to say that it's about time these trade tariffs went in. And yes, we're going to suffer a little bit. You have to take what's called the good with the bad. It's like when you take your cough medicine. You know what I mean? It tastes bad for a few minutes. But you're taking the cough medicine for your own good because the doctor said you need to take your cough medicine. This is the cough medicine to stop China from making us into slaves. That's the way I see it anyway. Simply put, you know. And I think that the cryptocurrencies could very possibly be part of this. part of this in the effect that the cryptocurrencies are a countermeasure against the Chinese taking all the gold. So our government might have, behind the scenes, created the cryptocurrencies in order to become digital gold to combat the Chinese real gold. It might be some sort of a plan like that. I just don't know exactly the details of it all because they haven't come out and told us the details of what they're planning. And possibly the reason why they're not telling us the details of what they're planning is because they don't want the Chinese to be able to plan ahead. In other words, if they tell all of us what they're planning to do to the Chinese, to stop the Chinese, then the Chinese will find out. The Chinese will be able to make secondary plans to try to stop the whole thing from happening. We're in the middle of a war here. This is quite literally a tariff war. That's quite literally what it is. And so now let's move on to cryptocurrency capitalizations today. We are up to 218 billion. We were like at 225 billion. We've dropped off just a little bit. Bitcoin dominance 52.2%. We're seeing red numbers on these coins. I'm going to tell you what, I've never owned any XRP before, Ripple. I didn't buy it because I saw it as being some sort of a banker coin or whatever. I'm going to buy my first Ripples. I'm making plans right now. I'm going to store them in a nano, one of those nano wallets, the nano that'll hold Ripple offline. That's where I'm going to store them. That's my plan, to store them there. And I'm going to buy a few Ripple. I think I'm going to not sure exactly where I'm going to buy them, and I'm going to transfer them to that wallet. This is my first time buying Ripple. I don't know the ropes. I don't really know how. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get myself a few Ripple. I'm thinking about getting maybe 500 or something, or 300 or something like that. Maybe 300 of them. I don't want to get cut out of the loop because this thing is got 1,500. Right now, it can make 1,500 transactions per second on the Ripple network. And it's the number 3 coin. And I don't want to get cut out of the loop. I want some Ripple. I'm going to get me some Ripple. You know? And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get me some Ripple. Listen, this has been your report. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. We're going to catch you in the next show. Bye-bye, guys.